Welcome, truth seekers and loyal members of the Whispers of Turkish Stars family. People like to say the past lives far away, where customs and rules are different, but in our world of Turkish showbiz, that past never packs its bags. It lingers, it stares, it whispers, and in the right light it swallows the present whole. For weeks we've watched the romantic turbulence humming across the air bridge between Turkey and Italy, a cold draft that nobody wanted to name. We've talked about distance, about frost, about a love trying to breathe at high altitude. And yet nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared us for the quake that hit the gossip landscape in the last few hours. What landed on our desk isn't a rumor or a fan's fever dream. It's a leak, a digital farewell verdict, a message that should have stayed locked inside a phone, reportedly sent from the inner chambers of the Yıldırım family straight to the woman at the heart of the storm, Cemre Arda. And inside that message lives a ghost with a profile everyone in Istanbul knows by silhouette. A name from yesterday's headlines stands up again, dusted off by the harshest sentence a heart can hear. Before we unspool every line of this emotional explosion, and we will, because it could redraw the map of love in Turkey, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, and if you're hungry for the documents, the receipts, and the raw analysis, hit join right now. Your membership keeps the lights on at Whispers of Turkish Stars and opens doors others keep bolted. Ready to read what should never have seen daylight? Let's go. The spark didn't come from a clumsy quote on a red carpet in Rome. No street photographer caught it by accident. According to every source we trust, it began as a private note, a message intended to die in silence. Instead, it tore through the curtain with the force of a storm. The sender. The Yıldırım patriarch, Gökberk Yıldırım's father. The recipient, Cemre Arda, the woman many believed was still trying to rescue a love running out of air. And the sentence that froze timelines and set comments sections on fire, arrived like a dagger wrapped in velvet. Your hardest truth is this: your competition is the one name our family still calls untouchable. Sit with that for a second. This isn't criticism. This is erasure. It implies that no matter how much Cemre loves, no matter how much she invests, no matter how well she carries herself under pressure, she's been pitted against a legend made of memory, not flesh. You can't outdress a myth. You can't outweight a ghost that doesn't blink. To understand how we ended up here, we need to rewind. Everyone close to the set lights knew the relationship between Cemre and Gökberk had been buffeted by rough weather. An unofficial break? A long, aching pause? Call it what you want, whispers of distance had drifted for months. What no one foresaw was the family stepping center stage. According to accounts from within the circle, after a severe cooling off, Cemre, tired of being turned into an echo in her own story, considered speaking out in Italy. Not a scandal, not a tell-all, just her side, her voice, her boundaries. But in the chessboard of power, the Yıldırıms have always moved early. When those rumblings reached the father's ear, the reaction, say sources, was instinct more than strategy. We're told he never saw this pairing as built to last and found it pale beside a love he remembers as incandescent. So he typed. And that long message wasn't a polite request to step back, it was a velvet-gloved order, perfumed with nostalgia for someone else. The cruelest slice of the leak isn't only what it takes from Cemre, it's what it gives to the past. The text, we're told, reads like a prayer to a former love. There are names in my son's life that time couldn't replace. She has been a quiet constant for years. You've done everything you could, but some ties aren't braided by calendars, they're stitched into the soul. Whispers of Turkish Stars family, do you hear the subtext marching in boots? Stitched into the soul. That's not a father guarding a career. That's canonization. To the Yıldırım home, that woman is not an ex. She's an ideal, a verdict, an answer to every riddle. And when you raise one woman onto a pedestal high enough to scrape the clouds, any newcomer becomes a shadow scrambling for sunlight. Cemre, who usually lives with her heart unhidden, has chosen a silence that can be heard from Kadıköy to Milan. People close to her in Italy say she's bruised, how could she not be? Imagine being measured against the nation's darling blueprint, held up beside the memory of on-screen chemistry that critics still call lightning in a jar. Imagine realizing your in-laws rank you on a scale you never agreed to. Italian magazines, always poetic, called her reaction a graceful retreat. Interviews shelved. Press notes torn up. But eagle-eyed followers captured a story before it vanished, posted hours before the leak blew. I know what I bring. If you can't see it, you lose it. She didn't name anyone. She didn't need to. It reads like a storm warning written in lipstick on a mirror. Meanwhile, the other side of the triangle hums with motion even while it pretends to sleep. The fabled former love hasn't issued so much as a comma. Yet a representative, speaking on background, slipped a single thought into a newsroom. She only smiles at this. Not mockery, not malice. A woman with work, with wins, uninterested in measuring herself against anyone. And yet here is the nuance: the family's insistence on calling her special has not gone unnoticed in her camp. A close stylist friend, known in the industry for captions that cut without naming names, posted an Instagram story as sleek as a blade. Quality stands alone. It doesn't compete. Coincidence? At Whispers of Turkish Stars, we retired that word years ago. The post flew, liked by half of Istanbul before lunch, dissected in cafes and trailers like a riddle people loved solving. Now let's pull the camera back. Who squeezed this message into the daylight? And why now? Gökberk stands on the edge of new international projects. Headlines are oxygen. The brand of that old screen duo remains global currency, endlessly traded in fan spaces and marketing rooms. Cynical columnists whisper this could be an engineered bruise, a managed crisis designed to keep names bright and tongues moving. But the stakes are dangerous. The Yıldırım family, prized for their discretion, is not pleased about the wildfire. Lawyers are being mentioned by people who never say the word unless they have to. There's talk of screenshots, of context carved away, of a story mutating beyond control. And in the dead center of the cyclone, the eye is motionless. Gökberk Yıldırım, an actor who has never feared letting his Instagram do the talking, has gone dark. No quotes, no pictures, no captions. Experts read silence like tea leaves, and their interpretations split. Is he furious with his father and holding his breath until he can speak with respect and clarity? Does he silently agree, grateful someone else said what he couldn't? Or is he biding his time, waiting for the exact second to step into the spotlight and turn a shock into a narrative only he can own? There's a line from a years-old profile piece that now rings like a prophecy. The woman from his past, in a moment of rare transparency, told a journalist, "No thread ever truly snaps." That sentence slept in an archive until today. With a father's message calling her irreplaceable without writing her name, the line wakes up and stretches. Are we watching the quiet overture to a reunion no one dared predict out loud? Or are we watching a family clinging to yesterday to avoid the mess of today? The story of Gökberk, Cemre, and the woman whose silhouette haunts every set has become a modern tragedy told in soft voices. Passion that refuses to end, family hands on the steering wheel, heart splintering in slow motion. Cemre Arda didn't audition for a competition, yet she's been positioned on a podium she never wanted to climb. The once-in-a-generation love figure, whether you adore her or resent the myth, stands untouched by the noise. And Gökberk Yıldırım? He remains what he's always been in moments like this, a puzzle, a handsome question mark painted across a skyline. Here at Whispers of Turkish Stars we will follow every microlike, every breadcrumb, every story posted at 3 a.m. and deleted at 3:02. We'll chart the flight paths between Istanbul and Rome. We'll listen for the change in tone, the small apology, the surprise handshake, the single photograph that can stop a narrative in its tracks. Because make no mistake, this isn't over. If anything, we've only just reached the end of Act 1. The curtain hasn't even warmed. Before you go, if this deep dive held your attention, show it some love. Hit like so the algorithm knows you're part of our family. Subscribe so you don't miss the next twist when the silence finally breaks. And if you want front row access to the documents, the timelines, the uncut analysis, consider joining our VIP circle by tapping join. Your support keeps us independent, curious, and brave enough to knock on the doors others pretend not to see. Now tell me in the comments, and be honest. Is it fair to stack a current partner up against a legend carved by public adoration and youthful fire? Or does a family have the right to champion the bond they believe was written in the first place? I'll be reading, and as always, our channel members get first eyes on their thoughts. Until the next heartbeat in this unfolding drama, this is Whispers of Turkish Stars, keeping watch where the spotlight meets the shadow.